You action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here. And it's been a little while. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been kind of a rough couple of weeks for me. If some of you guys I can see in the comments are aware, my dad passed away this month. And so I've been dealing with everything involved with that. I was going to be going to Legion Con, but my dad's health started to decline. So instead of going to New Jersey, I ended up going down to Florida. I was able to spend the last couple of days with him. For those not familiar, my dad's health has been declining steadily the last several years. He had a stroke about 3 years ago. He had Parkinson's, was in stage 5 of Parkinson's. So, um, in some ways, you know, it's kind of, I'm glad that he that he is no longer suffering and declining. Having to watch a parent suffer from a degenerative disease that has no cure is definitely not a fun thing. So, um, but I got back late last week, so I'm still just kind of settling in back into things. And of course, we're heading into Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week, so it's news wise, it's pretty slow. But I wanted to go on and come on and just check in with you guys since it'd been a while. We'll go over some. I'm not going to try and go over everything that's happened over the last several weeks since I last did a video. In fact, honestly, I'm not even fully tuned in with everything that went on over the last several weeks, as obviously I was preoccupied with other things. But did have a few things I want to go over with you guys today. And I hope you guys, again, we're going into Thanksgiving, so I hope everyone is going to, has plans to either have a quiet, relaxing Thanksgiving, which is definitely after the last several weeks, is what I'm planning on doing. Me and my wife are just staying here. We're not going to travel or anything, and just have a nice, quiet Thanksgiving. But whether you're having a big family Thanksgiving or just Thanksgiving with friends or spouses or whatever, hopefully it'll be a good one. All right, let's do a quick roll call. And also, I just want to say, whether it's been on here or Facebook or what have you, everyone who has reached out to, give their condolences or check in, and it is much appreciated. I really do appreciate it from everybody. From everything from close personal friends to viewers to readers, all the above. It's been much appreciated. Austin Bird is in the house. Happy Monday to you, my friend. Mr. Passiano, welcome back. You've been in my thoughts and prayers. I lost my dad as well. And my condolences to you. Again, it's not an easy thing ever. My mom died back in 2006, and God, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it has been a while since she passed. But she passed rather unexpectedly, which I got to say, like when I got the call from my dad that she had died, it was like a gut punch. Whereas my dad, again, he's had declining health. I kind of last year I went, and for those not familiar, he lives in Florida. He'd been living in Florida, so I live in Maryland. So to go down and see him, and that was a choice on his part because for a variety of reasons, but I wasn't able to like spend every day with him, type of thing. So, but like we went down last Thanksgiving, and Christmas, just because I kind of felt like that might be the last holidays I would be able to spend with him. I didn't realize it was going to be like lead up to right before the week before Thanksgiving. It was when he was going to die, but I kind of went into last year when we went to see him for the holidays that very well could be the last time I see him. I did see him in September. We went down there in September and I got a chance to see him. And then, like I say, I was able to spend the final hours with him, and he did go fairly peacefully, I guess as peacefully as one can go. Um, but but um but yeah, so but again, my condolences to you. Like I say, it is a very hard thing to lose a parent. Um, and even like since now both of my parents have passed away, it's like a weird feeling because like the people, like obviously like I have my wife and other family, but your parents were with you since almost day one, and it's like that part, there's nobody left on the planet who knows you, that has known you your entire life really since almost day one when after both of your parents are gone. So it's just kind of a weird surreal feeling. um but anyway, I don't want to focus the whole thing on that because I know you guys are here to talk toys. Zim's in the house. What is up? Glad you're doing better. Thank you very much, my friend. We've got Alonzo. Let's rock. And condolences for your dad. Really sorry to hear the loss. Thank you very much. Uh, we got, let's see, Aretha Carter. Uh, what's up? John is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for welcoming me back. Zombies in the house. Welcome back. Sorry for your loss. Thank you very much. Raul's in the house. Glad you're back. Wishing you all the best. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for yes. I my man cave back there. Thank you very much. Let's see. Sinister Si- Sinister Rocktober, yeah, Rocktober Solo 2154. Good to see you, my friend. Seeing some new names in here, so very cool. Hapo, thank you. Big hugs. Thank you very much. I see Facebook is still screwing up people's names. John, good to see you from Ireland. Thank you for the wishes. Like, I know this had started before, at the beginning of the month, but like how it's changed some of your guys' names for some unknown reason. Lucky guy 8726. Glad you're back. You've been missed. Sorry about your dad. I lost my dad at 23, and I'm 38 now, and it still stinks. Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, it's. I mean, my I was in my 30s when my mom passed away. So, but yeah, 20 losing a parent at 23, that definitely had to be pretty tough. Let's see, a mass figure collector. Sorry for your loss. Hope you and the family are doing well. Um, John, my dad was 92 when he passed, and my mom was 88 when she passed. So, they lived, sounds like they lived nice long lives. My dad was 80, had just turned 83 in October. So, um, and again, like he had the stroke, but it was the Parkinson. Like, I don't even think he would have had the stroke if it wasn't for the Parkinson's. Um, which I think was really the major decline. I mean, and what sucks about Parkinson's is Parkinson's itself doesn't really kill you. It just like takes control of your body away from you. It's usually other things that end up killing you. But yeah, Parkinson's is not. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Steve Areno, I was worried when I didn't see you for a bit that it may be because of your dad. I lost mine in 2003. I'm 59, followed by my mom in 2005. Condolences. Yeah. Thank you very much, Steve Reno. Yeah, like I say, losing parents is just sucks. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Road Pig John, good to see you, my friend. Let's see, Red Squad, another new name. Good to see you. At least I think a new name. Figure Fury, what is up? Mr. Cannabis, condolences. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about some fun stuff or semi fun stuff. Let's talk about some action figures. So, like I say, I'm not going to go into everything because there's a lot that happened over the last several weeks. Now I can't get my screen to work. There we go. Kind of. That's what I'm looking for there. StreamYards has moved things around a little bit too, so that's messing me up a little bit. Like they added some new aspect ratio thing, so I guess so people can watch on their cell phones and stuff better. But it's kind of messed up my controls a little bit. All right, so let's go with the latest news. We've got a new Street Fighter figure pre-order that just went up today from Jada Toys. It's E Honda. So you can get this one at Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. We've seen this figure on display at some of the recent conventions. I like the effects they included, so you can mimic his abilities in the game. So again, available Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, $35. So we got still waiting on them to release Akuma and Balrog. If I remember correctly, Vega and Sagat were the last. Blanca, maybe. Those were like the last releases, but I think we've pretty much got all the main Street Fighter 2 characters now at least available for pre-order. I think E Honda was the last one. So add that one to your collection if you want. Let's talk Tron. So today is the last day for that HasLab 3 3/4 inch Heroes of the Grid collector set based on the first Tron movie. They announced this at New York Comic Con, and it does not look like it's going to fund. We are just under eight, or we're just over 8 hours, and right now we're sitting at 1,329. So this thing really has not moved much the entire time since it launched back in October. And with only a few hours left, sometimes these things do get bursts at the end, but I don't think it's going to happen with this one. I don't think this one is going to end up getting funded. So I don't know if it's the price, $260, or if it's the scale, or both. But again, this one I think is going back to the drawing board. I don't see this one getting enough backers in just a few hours. It needs 10,000 backers, and it just has barely over 1,000. And it took most of that time just to get to 1,000. So, like I say, I don't think this is going to move forward, but we'll know by the end of today for sure. As far as there's been little word on those 6-inch Tron Legacy figures, when those are going to be available, how they're going to be available. Other than we know they will be Pulse exclusives, but will they be like a made to pre-order thing? Hasbro's been pretty mum on those details. Same thing. I don't know what happened to the Arctic Hiss made to pre-order. I was really expecting that to go up right after the Marvel Legend made to pre-order ended. That campaign for Apocalypse ended, but no word yet on the Arctic Hiss. So maybe it'll go up next week. I don't know, but like I say, no updates from Hasbro whatsoever on that stuff. Um, Not 100% confirmed, but I believe Alex Chen News has given us our first look at the Elite Edition Spawn figure that was announced at New York Comic Con. So I don't know if this is a factory sample or what. It has the soft goods cape. Will come with more accessories than what is shown here, but you know, again, this is supposed to be part of that Image Comic Founders line that they announced at New York Comic Con, where starting in January they'll do pre-orders every month. So Spawn was the first one, Savage Dragon, um, Shadow Hawk. So actually, I guess it's not every month, but January is supposed to be Spawn, and then and Spawn's supposed to have 4 different head sculpts, the soft goods wired cape, 3 pairs of hands, spike club, 2 metal chains, 2 different wrists, gauntlets, translucent green energy effects, a base, and an autographed art card. So that's January's pre-order, and then every 2 months, not every month, but every 2 months, another one will go up for pre-order. So the Eric Larson Savage Dragon, the Shadow Hawk, Jim Valentino's Shadow Hawk, that'll be in May. Then we've got Jim Lee's Spartan from Wildcats, that's July, and then Mark Silvestri's Sarah Panzini from Witchblade in September, Rob Liefeld's Prophet from Young Bloods in November, and uh, yeah, oh, and yeah, so unfortunately, it's a shame that the loose collector figures. I didn't even think about this originally, but the loose collector Rob Liefeld figures are 6-inch figures, and these are going to be 7-inch figures. So they're not going to scale 100% with one another. The McFarlane figures are going to be taller than those loose collector ones. It's been pretty quiet on the McFarlane front. We've got some those Marvel Rival statues are supposed to go up for pre-order this week. In fact, they're doing a McFarlane Toy Show just about those on the 25th. But, we saw these announced at New York Comic Con. But the Venom, and I guess this is a red platinum. So this will be available McFarlane Store, GameStop, and Walmart. And then we have this version of Venom, which is a regular release. And we have Hulk. These are all 1/6 scale. And Hulk is a regular release as well. So these will be going up for pre-order on November 25th. They had announced some others at New York Comic Con, so they'll probably go over those as well. As far as I know of, um, I don't think they're going to cover anything else but these rival statues. I could be wrong, but like they did something similar with Fallout. Was it last month they did that, where they did a bunch of Fallout pre-orders and then did one of their McFarlane Toy Show, and all they talked about was the stuff that had gone up for pre-order that day. So not much else on the Marvel Legend front. Very quiet. According to Dan Young, we won't get another new Marvel Legend reveal. We had a bunch of reissues go up for pre-order this month. This month was all about reissues. We had while I was gone, we had this surprise announcement with the crossover Marvel and Capcom with Keith, which I'm not even really that familiar with. But basically, where they were doing player two versions of both Jada toy figures for the Capcom side and Marvel Legend figures for the Hasbro side of things. Wolverine, Captain America, Ryu, and Mega Man. And I believe they all sold out very quickly. They were only offered on that company's website. So they were very limited release. I'm trying to find it. And like I said, I wasn't paying that close attention, but from what I understand, these all sold out very quickly. They're just repaints uh, of the two. Yeah, this was from the Marvel versus Capcom 2-pack. This Captain America is a repaint of that Captain America that came with the Venom, and this Wolverine's the repaint of the one that came with the Silver Samurai, only in player two colors. And then repaint of the Mega Man and Ryu figures from Jada Toys. So to me, these are kind of like I didn't even bother. Like I don't even know what this Keith. Like I'm not really familiar with who these guys even are. So, but and like why they had to write their names on the figures, like it, like I don't know that was just like lame to me that they wrote whatever this Keith company, like on the packaging I could totally understand, but why they had to write it on accessories and on the actual figures and stuff, I don't know. That was kind of weird. But like I said, they did sell out very quickly. I'm guessing they were very limited. Probably didn't do very many, but they sold out quickly. So be curious to see if Hasbro or Jada Toys does their own repaints of these guys at some point down the road. But getting back to where, as far as our next new Marvel Legend reveal, it's not supposed to be until next month. There's a Brazil convention that I guess Hasbro's going to be attending that Dan Young had mentioned. He didn't specifically say what convention it was, but he said it was in Brazil. So that likely is going to be the CCXP25 convention, which is supposed to take place December 4th through the 7th. Um, I wouldn't expect a ton in the way of new reveals at that, but maybe one or two things. I believe there is a Marvel Legend pre-order coming around that same time on December 5th. Big things, smaller things, put together a reminder for this drop. So there's actually two pre-orders from Hasbro on December 5th. The other one might be Star Wars. I don't know. I'm guessing it's probably just going to be Star Wars and Marvel again that they show at this convention, but I don't know that for sure. It could be all the brands. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then there will be a final fan stream from Hasbro for Marvel Legends sometime in December as well, before the end of the year. So we'll probably get more reveals during that. I'm going to guess that's probably, since it looks like this convention is going to be the first week of December, the fan stream will probably either be the second or third week, before, I would imagine, before Christmas and New Year's and all that. So, um, but November has been very quiet on the Marvel Legend front as far as any kind of new reveals. So let's see. I think that pretty much covers Marvel stuff. I'm just kind of jumping all around here, if you couldn't tell. This is kind of interesting, revealed by Hot Toys. So we saw this suit in the Flash movie. We never saw Michael Keaton actually wear this suit, but we are now getting a Hot Toys figure. It's going to be a limited release. But Michael Keaton in a blue and gray Batman suit. So kind of what could have been. And you do get an unmasked head sculpt with this. So you do get a Michael Keaton unmasked head sculpt. So like I say, kind of cool. Even though, like I say, we never actually saw him wear this suit in the movies. We saw the suit on display in Wayne Manor, but we didn't actually see him wear the suit. But obviously, comic book inspired. The original '89 bat suit in comic book based blue and gray type colors is kind of what we're looking at here. So definitely kind of cool. Hot Toys exclusive, which basically means it's going to be fairly limited release. I don't know if Big Bad Toy Store will offer it. They might at some point, but something to keep an eye out for. I'm not big into AEW. I'm not really familiar with Swerve Strickland, this wrestler, but there's a shop AEW exclusive version limited to 1 in 3,000 for a whopping $60. So there's a version released at Target as well, I think, of this guy, but this one, $60 from Jazzwares. We've had some new Masters of the Universe pre-orders, Origin stuff primarily. Red Shadow. Not really familiar with this character, though he looks like a werewolf of some type. This was available on the Mattel Creations website. Went up last week. I think it's still available. It is. So, kind of going deep on some of these. Thundercat, New Wave. These are just repaints. I think I talked about these last time I did a video. Um, these are just repaints of figures that they already did. Instead of Battle Cat, we're getting Panther Man, and then the Panther figure and the Lion are just repaints of the ones they did previously. These new Masterverse figures, which package images and such surfaced, have not yet gone up for pre-order. Dragstore, New Eternia Keldor, and New Eternia um, Adora as Horde Commander. So those have not yet gone up. We had a new sketchbook series figure with the Mark Taylor He-Man. We got the official images of those, though I don't think this has been available online. Definitely, you can see with this figure, it's kind of like a original sketch version of He-Man, essentially, and you can definitely kind of get the Conan inspired aspects of the He-Man character from this figure. Queen Marlena and King Randor figures for the Origins cartoon collection. Those have gone up for pre-order. In fact, I think Entertainment Earth actually has a case with these in stock now. So not a huge pre-order window on those. Also, Mark Taylor's Manny Faces official images for that one, or official image. Had some new official images for WWE figures. So the next wave of WWE Street Fighter figures. This is wave two. With these will be offered obviously here in the United States. Well, not obviously, but here in the United States, these WWE Capcom figures are Walmart exclusive. So we've got John Cena as Guile, Batista as Sagat, and Bianca Belair as Cammy. A new Ultimate Edition Rock figure. This will be going to Amazon at some point. The Final Boss. Then we've got a new wave of Elite Collection figures. Greatest Hits Wave 2 with Final Boss, Dirty Dom, Mysterio, John Cena, and Braun Breaker. John Cena is just a few weeks away from his final match on Saturday Night Main Event, which will be taking place in Washington, D.C. Not my favorite outfit for Braun Breaker, but there you go. Then we have, let's see, this is uh, WWE Event Series 163, Kevin Owens, Trish Stratus, Penta, Seth Rollins, and Randy Orton. So these are your basic figures. Stratus faction. Then we've got WWE Main Event Top Picks 2026 Wave 2 with Seth Rollins, LA Knight, and John Cena. And then we have, let's see, WWE Elite Top Series 2006 or 2026 Mixed 2 CM Punk and Roman Reigns, who once again will be teaming up together for War Games. Roman will be kicking off Raw tonight. And then again, the Street Fighter figures with John Cena as Guile. There's the packaging. Batista as Sagat. And then Bianca Belair as Cammy. And then we also have, let's see, what are these? The Superstars Wave 17. So Axe Smash, Cross, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So these here in the US will be Walmart exclusives. United States champion role play belt for the kids, and then the undisputed WWE championship belt also, and the Intercontinental Championship. So those are your latest solicitations for Mattel's WWE line. Nothing really new on G.I. Joe front. New figures are starting to come into stock at retailers. I guess we did have a new wave of reaction figures, O-ring reaction figures from Super 7 that recently went up for pre-order. This is wave 6. So we've got radioactive red glow Snake Eyes from the Mass Device miniseries. Also Scarlet from that same miniseries with her Arctic gear. Cobra Commander with his cape and little specter. And then what's her name? Mara, Shipwreck's sometimes girlfriend with oxygen gear on from one of the cartoon episodes. So those have gone up for pre-order. Also, there was a Serpentor figure. I believe it's available exclusively at Target. Python Patrol Serpentor. I still haven't opened it because it came in right before I left for Florida, but the Steeler short fuse 2-pack from Target, that's also started shipping. Wetsuit, Mainframe, and Sci-Fi have come in stock at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. So those are shipping to me now. Also, Big Bad Toy Store, for you Mass fans, has that first wave of stuff. So if you pre-ordered those, or if you've been thinking about getting them, again, Big Bad Toy Store has them in stock. The Big Bad Toy Store exclusive version of the mobile defense unit hasn't come in yet, but the regular stuff has. Not a whole lot on the NECA front. Toys continues their G.I. Joe 3 3/4 inch line. Here's a look at the Alley Viper. So, unfortunately, these are not available through U.S. retailers. You have to go someplace overseas to get these, or secondary market. Like, if I was going to do 3 3/4 inch, like, I would definitely collect these over the reaction stuff. But that's just kind of me. I'm trying to think. Some other news that stuck out to me over last couple of weeks. So things are not looking great for Funko. They continue to have financial issues, even suggesting that, because of the debt that they've accumulated, that they might possibly end up going under, or might sell to another company. They just got a new CEO that came from that had worked previously at like Netflix and such. So he's still trying to hold out a glimmer of hope that he can turn things around. Well, like I say, it is looking very iffy for Funko, which of course also owns Mondo. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. And I feel like I'm probably missing some stuff on Transformers, though. I don't think. Oh, yeah, we had these recent pre-orders for repaints of G2 versions of the Dinobots. So Swoop and Sludge, and then which is a 2-pack. So I think that was like the big Transformer news over the last couple of weeks. All right, so like I say, I missed some things, I'm sure, but I definitely just kind of wanted to start to recap for you guys. Now, of course, like I say, we're going into Thanksgiving. Not a lot of news. There's going to be very little news this week. Um, Most news is going to revolve around Black Friday sales, that kind of thing. So, now's the time, where you might be able to get some good deals. If you've been waiting on stuff to hopefully go on discount, you might be able to get some good deals on a few things. But news wise, this week, the last week in November is going to be pretty quiet. Now, like I said, next week, first week of December, we will be kicking off with probably some Marvel Legend news at the end of the week with the whatever they revealed that Brazil convention, maybe some other Hasbro brands as well. I don't know. Maybe they will finally announce when the Arctic Hiss tank will go up for pre-order. The made to pre-order Arctic Hiss tank that they showed off at recent conventions, New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con. Trying to think what else. Yeah, next month. I mean, like I say, we'll get a Marvel Legends fan stream. We'll have that convention, but going into Christmas, end of year is usually very quiet for news. So let's see, what are you guys talking about in the comment section? Whoa, why was I in a different? So the StreamYards launched this new feature where, like, the aspect ratio. So you actually have two versions. One that's made for like watching on a cell phone, and the other for uh, normal viewing. So I don't really like I when I went to start the live stream today, that feature was there. I was like, well, I'll just go with it. I haven't really had time to really look into it, but that's why there's like two. I think you might see two versions of the stream up on YouTube. One is made more for watching on your cell phone, and the other is made for watching normally. So, and like I say, I have not had time to really look that much into it, but I believe that's what you're seeing. Zombie says, Keith, a lifestyle brand like Supreme. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm too old for that kind of thing. I don't know. It just, and I don't know. I looked at those figures and I just like, man, those are ugly. Like, if you're gonna give us a different version of Captain America, they should have given us like the U.S. Agent version from the Street Fighter games, which is basically was just Captain America in like black colors. But uh, but I would have rather had that than like the greenish off-color Captain America and the Wolverine with like the brown. Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't too impressed with that, but some people definitely seem to want them because they sold out. Um, I mean, I like the idea of Player Two, but I don't know why Hasbro and Jada just couldn't release repaints of those. I don't know. Thank you, Phil. Zombie was able to score Super 7 Lion-O with light up eyes on Amazon. Yeah, I saw that had gone up for discount. I I thought about getting that one, but I just even at 45, I was like, yeah, I don't really need it. Oh, you know what? We did have some Thundercat pre-orders go up the last couple of weeks. At least I thought we did. Yeah, wave 14. Maybe they never. All right, I guess maybe I'm wrong. I thought wave 14 for Thundercat Ultimates had gone up for pre-order. I know we'd gotten the preview images, but maybe they didn't go up for pre-order. So that's weird. I'll have to look into that. But and it was only two, like, images of these had leaked out months ago, and there was three figures: King Lion-O, Dark Magician, and Red Eye, and it looked like only King Lion-O and Red Eye, which has light up eyes. But I guess for some reason they did not end up going up for pre-order, even though Super 7 teased them. So I don't know what's going on with those. I don't see them on Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth. So yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to check into that. But that line seems to be, where that wave seems to be kind of plagued with issues. So I don't know what's going on with that. But if I find something out, I'll let you know. Oh, they get pushed to December? All right. That's weird. King Lion-O and Red Eye. So was this a case where they went up for pre-order and then they got pulled for some reason? Or am I just, because I don't see them. Usually, if it just sells out, they're still at least on the site. Oh no, there it is. It just sold out. That's weird. All right, so they did go up for pre-order. Did Lion-O sell out too? No, Lion-O is still available. Red Eye sold out, at least at Big Bad Toy Store. And Red Eye is also still available on Entertainment Earth. So I don't know why they didn't pop up on the regular search. Yeah, both Lion-O and Red Eye are still available at Big Bad or at Entertainment Earth, and Red Eye sold out at Big Bad Toy Store. So $65 each on those. Obviously, I did not pre-order them. I probably will not. I did. My Safari Joe Thundercat figure has shipped from Entertainment Earth, so that'll be arriving soon. But I think I'll probably pass on Red Eye, and I definitely don't need King Lion-O. William, so sounds like you're watching the version made for cell phones. There, there's actually a regular version you can flip to if you want. Yeah, like I say, I just kind of went with it when I saw it. It was like, all right, let's try it out. But like one version, if you look on YouTube, so you can see there's two versions, but there's a little cell phone next to this one here. So that's the version for cell phones, and I don't know if it really shows up better or what. But if you're seeing like a portrait version of the video and you're watching it on your desktop or whatever, then you might want to flip over to this one because that's the regular video. Um, and like I say, it's some kind of new feature that StreamYard's started doing, and I will look into it further for the next video. I just didn't have time today, so but I I saw it pop up as two different videos, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. And then I saw the little cell phone next to the one, so I was like, oh, that must be for the for for people watching it on mobile devices. But reporting in late, sick and Zor. Truly sorry for you and your family's loss. Hope you find some peace in the approaching holidays. Thank you very much. Again, all the kind words from everybody. It's been much appreciated with my dad passing away. Take it easy, official Eric Eltman. Yeah, we're coming up on the hour, so we're going to be calling it. So I don't know, because very little news I'm expecting this week. I don't know if I'll do another stream this week. Like I say, I just kind of wanted, since it's been several weeks since I'd done any videos, I wanted to just pop on here to give you kind of just an update. And again, just a big thank you to everybody who has reached out with their condolences and all that stuff. So very much appreciated. Um, you know, again, it's hard to explain because like there's a certain weight that's lifted, that my dad has gone to a better place. He's no longer suffering from Parkinson's. The reality is, the longer he lived, the worse quality of his life was going to be, as his body was basically giving out on him. So yeah, from that aspect, it's like I'm very glad that he's at a better place. But also, just losing, not having my dad around anymore is it's hard to get used to. But again, just all you guys reaching out and everything through private messages, text messages, emails, phone calls, all of that has been greatly appreciated. Good tidings, Jay and company. Have you heard any? I did. Somebody, I think it was Mondo. I believe it was at. Let me double check that for you, but I believe it was at New York Comic Con that Mondo announced that they were doing Brave Star. So let me double check that for you. But yes, Brave Star is coming back now. Of course, Mondo doing them. They didn't go into, if I remember correctly, they didn't go into specifics. Oh no, they did. They 1/12 scale Brave Star figure. So no images or anything. They just announced the license, but Mondo is doing Brave Star figures. So probably will be similar to like their Masters of the Universe figures that they're doing now. So they're not going to be cheap. They will be on the expensive side, I'm sure. But if you are a Brave Star fan, you do have some new figures coming your way, probably sometime next year. All right, guys. I think we will call it a day. But again, thank you to everyone who's tuned in here. We'll play it by ear as far as videos for this week. But if not this week, definitely I will be back next week, and we'll start to get back into the groove. Like I say, next week we should probably get a few, or at least one, Marvel Legend reveal, if not more, from the Brazilian convention, and maybe some other Hasbro reveals as well. So, but thank you everybody who tuned in. It is much appreciated. As always, stay safe. Have a great Thanksgiving. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching today's video. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. You can also think about becoming an action figure enthusiast channel member. There's a link in the video description below with more details on that. Check out all the names of everyone who's already joined, scrolling down at the bottom of your screen. And for the latest in action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TeeFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great!